You're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, hosted by Steve Jenny and his satanic assistant, Alex Houdini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
Well, it'd help if I had the mic on. Welcome to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, live here on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course here on YouTube. And well, look at there he is, Mr.
Oh,
Jeff.
sorry, I went to get some beverage.
That's cool, dude. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. A bit tired. Went to a motorcycle ride today with other veterans. It was the 8th annual Thunder Ride here in Three Rivers. It was fantastic. Saw lots of long lost friends that I've been in the area with. So it was lots of fun, lots of good memories and good friends. And now I'm tired. I won't lie, I'm really tired. My back hurts, but it was worth it. Hello, Melissa and
Yeah,
Don. Yeah, hello.
let's get it out there, man. Like Melissa's there in the chat.
Yeah,
Joe Keith from Abandoned Landscapes.
landscapes. I went to
Uh,
visit the museum I saw with I think in like airplane museum,
mm.
and really interesting. I haven't looked at it like all of it, but I will go and look at it again.
Yeah, it's a really intriguing place. Hey, Steven, how are you? Hey,
So,
Julie, Neil, thanks for popping in. Yeah, you know what? I we've been doing research in that place for over it's been 15 years now.
wow, I
Close
can't
close
wait
to close
to
to 15
really
years.
to see it and really try, because I like to try in those places, especially speaking in French, especially
Mhm.
knowing that probably they were like a French kind of background of kind of little um foundation of French, you know.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, it's an intriguing place. It's so what it is basically the area was just a section of the small area of Burlington, and basically there was, I think at one point there was 6 or 7 farmhouses in the area,
Oh,
and when the park came into sanction, they bought out the land, obviously, and they saved 4 or 5 of the farmhouses are all original, and they've been kind of renovated. One is being for used as a field office. The other one's being as a daycare center for children. Another one is is still used as a working farm for the kids to go visit the animals and stuff like that. And then
oh,
and then you have this Bruce Lane farmhouse, which is a sort of a museum now that kind of gives you a glance of what it was like to live in on a farm during the turn of the century, being 1899 when that house was
well,
built.
late 19th, early 20th century. That's really
Exactly, exactly. Hey Cheryl, how are you? Yeah, it's an intriguing place, and like I said, we've had a long-standing relationship with the park and all that. They've had several investigative groups in there to investigate this place, and over the years that we've been doing the research there, it's I'll tell you, man, it's an eye opener because you really start to understand what is really going on there. And there's a whole lot, although it may not be. Most people, that's malevolent. It's not. You
Yeah.
know what? A lot of the employees there, a lot of the people that work there, have had a lot of really strange stuff happen to them. In fact, even the curator.
Well, it could be more like an angry farmer that like, what the heck are you doing in my house? And
Well,
trying to scare you away. That's my take. It's like,
mm,
how would you feel like if a complete stranger would walk into your house, like
hmm
in your realm, you think it's still your house, it's
hmm
still your place, and especially the houses that a person built it himself,
yep,
built with his own hands, built it with his own heart and soul.
hmm
So sometimes they kind of stay attached to it, and and especially if they kind of um they kind of made the land, they cut the trees and everything, and they built a house, they harvested the land,
hmm
and they stay attached to those places.
yeah,
And my take would be like, if people say, well, it's malevolent, not really. It's
no,
probably the first owner that he's really pissed off that somebody else now in his home.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those situations that, like I said, the curator, when he goes into that house, he talks, and he says, and he says, look at, hey Mars, how are you? Good to
And
see you.
Neil, I'm going to Gettysburg in July, and
Love Gettysburg.
I've rented out an Airbnb that used to be a field hospital for the Confederate Army during the battle. So I'm really looking for it. I'm probably do a two-parter in that Airbnb, like investigate the house itself and go outside near the battlefield, like stay on the grounds of the house, and kind of like listen to the sounds if we can hear, like, I
Well,
don't
that's
know,
it. Yeah.
musket fire, like cannon. I
You
don't
know
know.
what? I absolutely loved it there. I such an awesome little town, an awesome little place, soaked in history. I mean, the buildings, the original buildings, still have the bullets in the fucking brick.
If I
They
can
refuse to take
find,
any of that away.
yeah, I know. And there's a house that used to have like Confederate snipers in the attic, and I know that place is available for investigations.
Mm,
And if it is available, if I'm in Gettysburg, I want to investigate it because I've seen other investigators went there,
yeah.
and they they have the reaction because some soldiers were unfortunately killed while
Mm,
they were sniping from that place because
yep.
the Federals were shooting by outside. You see the wall. The wall is like peppered with musket balls.
Yep.
And when the owners like did like kind of they redid the setup like it
hmm
was during the battle, and they they did the place in Lumino,
hmm
and the place freaking lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And Dom probably knows the name of that place
I, I
completely.
think I think he posted it, didn't he?
I think he investigated that place. Dom, the place where the snipers were in the attic. What is the name of that house, that place in Gettysburg? Uh,
Did he say Kanawichikawa or whatever?
no, Kanichiwa.
Kenichi.
That's
Oh, yeah, I know. He's asking what place are you referring
the
to?
the 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 house in Gettysburg where the
Oh,
Far North
Far
Ten,
North Hotel. Yeah.
Thank you, man. And they still have like you can investigate the place, and it's awesome. And probably if the Jenny Wade house is available also. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to going, and it's gonna be the Battlefield Bash. It's gonna be the Paracon. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well, this year I think is going to be rather exciting. I think this year it's going to be. Um, Let me just fix this. It's driving me nuts. Um, it's
I'm
going.
still out of the studio, if you can see.
Yeah, but well, okay. Without going too much further, this by the way, guys, this is the second last show of season 16. The last show is June 7th with Reeves Cook at 6 p.m. because our friend Reeves Cook is from the UK, live in the UK. A lot of you guys know Reeves Cook, the Paratalk podcast. Mr. High Strangeness himself will be joining us for the season finale there, and that again is June 7th. So yeah,
And I'll
wow,
probably absent because I'll be on the road. I'll be in New Brunswick. I'll
yeah.
be supporting a friend that he's shooting movie,
Hmm.
and he's starting the shooting on the 7th at 6 p.m. So I'll
Well,
be over there.
that's okay. It's cool. Like I said, I don't have any problems going head to head with Reeves. I mean, we've had many conversations. That's fine. That's you know what? I absolutely appreciate you filling in for Alex, and I know he does. So, and we've absolutely enjoyed having you here, Jeff, a
Thank
part
you
of the
so
show.
much.
So it's been a blast, and it's been great. And like I said, you're always welcome here, man. You know that.
Thank you.
And because I don't know, hopefully things will be back to normal in season 17. But regardless, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk
Oh
about.
yeah, because the summer is gonna be filled. I have plans going down to New Brunswick. I'll be just like doing a stop in New Brunswick, going to see my friend, supporting him, and afterwards I'm going down to Nova Scotia to meet
Yeah.
with my friends Lomar and Chelsea and their friend Kim. And tomorrow I'll be on the phone trying to call Fort Louis Bourg to see what they have available. So
Yeah. Oh,
hopefully the Latrigue house.
and by the way, just to let you know too, I am in the process of scheduling the Hinsdale house.
That place is, yeah.
Yes, I talked to my good friend Tim
I
Shaw.
have unfinished business over there.
And looking to schedule that for later on in the summer. So yeah, look out for that.
And I'm planning another road trip. I had a long chat with Lomar last night, and we're looking into doing probably an Indiana series because he was kind of impressed by that the evidence, not really the evidence, but the video that Tommy put up.
Yeah, you did a great job. You guys like Tommy. Tommy. I don't understand why he didn't go with the raw. I love raw. I think it's amazing when to include raw, especially with stuff like this. I think
and
raw is amazing.
and especially that night was so bizarre, like batteries draining for nothing. Usually with my big batteries, I go for a whole night of investigation, and the next morning or at the end I still have like energy in my at least one of my batteries.
And tell people, Jeff, tell people about that location, and I'll put
Yeah,
the link to Tommy's video so people can watch that later on. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is.
And hold on, Melissa, it's been a blast. Thank you so much. You've done a great job, and it's always great to have you here. Obviously, Melissa, thank you very much. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
The place is, we call it the Jim Jones Church.
Yeah.
And it is the church where Jim Jones received his first Bible. It's the church where he started preaching, where he was taught about God and everything. And it is the preacher's wife that gave him that Bible. He had all access to that church. The guy would go on the road, pick up dead animals, and do mock funerals for them. And if he didn't have a dead animal, he would kill one. The kid was taken in pity by the residents of Lynn because when um, his family came to live in Lynn, Indiana, they were flat broke. It's their
Hmm.
family that bought them a shack because his father was a World War One veteran and he was
Yeah.
injured and he couldn't work. So they were broke. He didn't have any pension back then.
Hmm.
So he would go around in Lynn, dress in rags and begging for food and stuff. And the ladies of the town were taking in pity and dress him, feed him, and the reverend's wife decided to give him his first Bible and teach him about God. And he comes back to that place
Yeah.
because it's where everything started. And we did a portal session, and just go and watch the video.
Yeah.
You clearly hear Jim, but listen to the sound or the way it is said. Jim Jones, when he talked, he was the people that talk with like with their tongue. Uh, he would speak like that. He had a particular sound to speak, and when we heard that Jim, it was clear as day was like his voice, and it was
Hmm.
a man. It was like a big because we had kids, we had other people coming through. It was, and Tommy, he's not the kind of guy that gets spooked with stuff. He saw a shadow. He got really, really scared. Yeah.
I really I enjoyed the vid, like the premiere. You know, like I said, people aren't always going to agree with stuff that's going on, but it doesn't matter. I mean, being in these situations and investigating these places, it's a high.
Hmm.
Honestly, it's so good to be able to get into these locations and actually get it, get your own take on the situation that's happening. You know?
I went to the Monroe house, and people would say, my friend Tommy, he won't go to the Monroe house because he's freaked out of that place. I went in that place alone. People were telling like, you're nuts, you're crazy. That was one of my coolest investigation I made.
Hmm.
On the first floor, I barely had activity, but on the second floor, I had a doll that you crank up and it chimes, and it went off by itself.
Yeah.
And all the time I was setting up, I set up a camera right next to that doll. It never made a sound. And I probably even moved it to place my camera and never made a sound. And during questioning and even during listening, I was listening to an EVP and that freaking doll went ding.
Oh,
That that was freaky. And
I bet.
the second floor of the Monroe house, you feel uneasy. I don't know why, but it's only the second floor. I went in the freaking crawl space for 15 minutes alone, and that was fun.
You know, you know, there are times like I've been involved with doing this for many years, like you know, a lot of years, and there are times when I just feel like sitting on the, you know, leaving it all behind and say, I don't want to do this anymore because so much crap. But
Mm,
I always find people like you, Jeff, and people like Tommy and others who are so passionate about it now. It kind of revs me back up and going, ah, what the hell are you doing, you moron? Get back in the ring. You know,
my,
you know, I absolutely love it. Like I said, me, it's the research. Me, I love the investigative aspect of it as well. It's a high. I love it. I do. And me, it's more methodical. More.
mm,
I like taking a more slower approach. I like being. I like being in these locations for long, drawn out times. I mean, I have a hard time being in a location for just only a couple hours because you really can't soak in the essence of that
no,
location. You can't.
exactly. No,
You know.
because for to do a proper investigations, what we
Mm.
do, we it's kind of an investigative adventure, because to
Yeah.
do a proper investigations, you have to be in the place like for days on, for two,
Days,
3,
months,
4.
years.
It, like uh, I will take the case of John Huntington that lives
Hmm.
in Maine,
Yep.
and he lived in the Conjuring house for, I think, a couple of months. But while living there, he was investigating the place. He was really kind of deciphering what, okay, that crack in the wall, that's not a knock. That's because, well, the heating is heated,
Hmm.
heating, and the wall is cracking because of the heat,
Yep.
and so on. You cannot tell that in just one night.
No.
In one
No.
night, you kind of gather what you can,
Well, yeah. Yeah.
and especially when you film YouTube, sometimes you have to really kind of not rush it, but you want everything to kind of happen really quickly because you want everything to be cramped up in one video. You don't want to like do a 2 3 hour video like Colin from the Paranormal Files does every time. Like he does 2 3 4 hour videos. Like what the hell, man? Like, but he shows everything. He shows their whole fucking night. Sorry, but
What are you sorry for? You shouldn't be sorry for anything, Jeff. Come on.
that and it's the same with me. Sometimes nothing happened, and people say, "Well, why do you show it?" You have to show that nothing happened. If you don't show it, people will say, "Well, you're showing only what happens, so you're probably faking it."
Well, I
That's
mean,
their sometimes that
that's
people.
the debate. That's the long-standing debate about,
Mm,
you know, the difference between, you know, entertainment and actual investigation. I
yeah,
mean, I get it, and I'm not here to bash anybody. I don't want to do that. I get it. I mean, yeah, you want to entertain people. You want to show people like this scary location, blah blah blah, and so on and so on, and get subscribers and blah blah blah. And, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and what
I
Cheryl
get
is saying, it's exactly this. You have channels that, oh, I've been there 2 hours and
it.
nothing
Nothing
happened.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sizing you. After 2 hours, now they know who the heck you are. Now, probably something will happen.
I've been, at so many locations, but I mean, it doesn't even, it's not even a factor for me. I mean, yeah, I've been in many locations and nothing's ever happened. Where I've been in shitloads of locations and nothing's really happened, and but all of a sudden something happens and that's it. Just a speck of a few minutes, if that, and that's the whole night. There you go. Oh my god, that was so cool,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
Even if I don't, even if we don't get anything,
Was good.
you have to realize this, what this is. It's a building, it's a building block, it's a stepping stone. you know think
Mm,
about, okay, I want to come back here, I want to continue this, I think there's potential, I really want to come back and see what happens the next time.
yeah.
you know
And
but
that's why I like going to places many times. Like, well, you already did a video there. I know. And I want to go back because I still want to know what happens. I still want to understand what's going on. That's why I went twice to the Hinsdale house.
Mhm.
Uh, that's why I went to other places a couple of times. I want to understand. I went twice to an abandoned boys penitentiary in Nova Scotia, and now it's really really wait. Sorry, my dog had got down with her freaking satellite
your
dish.
your satellite dish.
Yeah, my walking satellite dish. So I went there. Now it's like really really abandoned. So probably I won't be able to go there anymore. But you still have questions. You still have answers that are still unanswered. It's all of that.
Yeah. There has been locations that I've been to that, there's so much lore, so much said about it, and then when you go into it and absolutely nothing happens, and you kind of feel let down because of all, well, I don't understand, people have experienced this here, and why, I just don't understand. Again, something like that, you can't let it get you down, because I know a lot of people review their findings, on site, whatever. uh I tend to do a lot of my reviewing after the fact.
Me too. I
and,
don't review. If I review something on the spot, it's like we want to know what something happened, or
yeah.
we really want to make sure that it is a. Did you hear a voice, or and you
Mm.
want to risk? But yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, like, I mean, it's, I approach all of this as an ongoing learning experience, no matter what. I mean, you have to. You simply can't go in there saying, "Oh, I know everything. I've experienced everything."
No,
You can't. I mean, nobody can.
no.
Absolutely, nobody can do that. And you're constantly learning. You're constantly understanding, and I think that's what I love about it. I love about doing any of this. Even if it's not even a proposed or reputed haunted location. All you go into a location. I look at a lot. I watch a lot of urbexing,
Mm,
and some of the locations that a lot of these guys go into and go, wow, this place has a lot to tell you, a lot to say.
mm,
There's a lot going on here. You know, does that make it haunted? No, but you
No.
never know. You never know. I mean, you know, these
Well,
places,
knowing the history of the place,
the
now
history.
you
Yeah,
can't like figure out did something happen. The house, the land where it sits on,
yeah,
is it the land that could be haunted? So, yeah, and look, the other night I went to my a graveyard right here in my hometown. Didn't I wasn't expecting anything, anything at all. I was like, I'll do a live stream there. It's dark, it's spooky. Let's go. I just set up REM pod, flashlight, a K2,
yeah,
and my music box on the gravestone. But frig, the freaking REM pod went off, and
yeah.
the music box went off, and no bugs were around because I was flashing my light on on the music box, checking if like there was nothing, nothing, and it
The music box is that the one that Spotted Ghost made?
yep, the
Yeah,
one
those.
with the two sensors. There's a
Yeah, yeah,
proximity and a temperature sensor, and
yeah.
he did one with a movement detection movement sensor. So
I like a lot of the stuff he's making. It's pretty intriguing.
well, he basically does in boxes what he does with the apps, but his apps won't ask you for the access to your mic. Hey, the topic. It won't ask you for the access to your microphone, to your anything.
Hmm.
The only thing it will ask you is to have access to your sensors.
Hmm.
That's it.
Your sensors.
Your sensors.
Ooh, your
Because your mic,
sensors.
because
Would
other
I would
apps
like
use
access to your sensors.
sensors, but the other apps use the microphone, and
Uh,
there's where I have a problem. It's
yeah.
if my phone can listen to me, well,
Mm.
probably the AI in that
It's
computer.
listening to you anyways.
Well, well, not when Spirit Talker is on because it doesn't ask you the access to your mic,
Hmm.
and if the um, the sensors are not on, the program won't work.
Yeah.
So the only way it works is with the access of the sensors that are in your phone.
Mm. Interesting. Like I said, I have to experiment a little bit more with them. Like I said, I've always been skeptical with a lot of this stuff, but like I said, it doesn't mean I debunk them. I don't debunk them. I entertain them. I will, you know, experiment with them and all sorts of stuff. And I've been doing this, like I said, you know, ever since the good old Radio Shack hacks and the Frank's boxes in the
Yeah,
beginning, and
well,
you know,
spirit box are awesome, and
mm,
I know Dom sent me the parts I need to make myself a portal box,
mhm,
but um, it's the way that Spotted Ghost told me about the app
mhm.
is like people go out and buy out an Ovilus for $500,
Oh, I know, man. The prices are just fucking
and and, and,
horrendous.
and, and it's like, okay, do you know you're buying actually you're not you're buying an app that is the price of a phone? You're
Hmm.
buying an app when you're buying an Ovilus. You're
Yeah,
buying an app with one sensor. That's it.
yeah,
It doesn't even have a microphone,
yeah.
just have a sensor. But this one has six, and the Android phones have eight, if
Hmm.
not 10
Yeah.
sensors. So that is the kind of the powerful computer that you have is this little gizmo. And you put it on airplane mode, it's like you're cut out of anything. You can't even go out, buy a phone, don't even put it on any network, just go and download the app and
Mm-hmm.
just take
You,
everything out and
that that's
use it.
that's what here I'll show you. That's what I was thinking about doing with this guy here. Where is it? Uh, I think it's this one here. Let me just see. Is it this guy here? This is the guy I was thinking about doing that with, and just if it would come up. Okay, it doesn't want to come. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
This guy. Yeah, that's fine.
yes, the
I
recordings.
I I think this is the one. Let me just see. This guy here. No, that's not it. Sorry, that's not it. Mm, and I think
And
there's only
Joe,
one.
I have a Tascam and I have a Zoom recorder, and I take EVPs, and I caught one of my best EVPs, one of the purest breath I ever heard, and it was in Halifax, in this at the Citadel in Halifax, with my Zoom recorder, and it was clear, like you hear the. And when you listen to it on the computer, you even hear it, like you imagine yourself in the room. You can even place the breath in the room when you can hear it like with a clear kind of program where everything is. You can like hear the when you walk the freaking rocks on the ground, and you have to record always in wave or raw, because people go and record on MP3. Oh, I caught a voice. No, it's just probably a sound that is being compressed. It sounds like something.
Okay, I'm not finding it, but it's Doogie smartphone, and there's Doogie has infrared night vision, and it has a thermal camera on it.
Oh,
And this fucking thing is actually really neat. But I would use it simply for a recording mechanism. I would download some sort of app like that onto it, right?
yeah.
Um, I'm telling you, when you look into it, I can't remember the what model. So now, hold on.
There was a company I've seen the phones go by on I think on Facebook. There's
Mm,
it's a company from Singapore that makes
mm,
those phones, and I don't remember the name. They had like team phones like the Transformers and stuff like that. And the cool thing about those phones, they had a little miniature fan to cool down the hard drive in it.
yeah,
And sometimes some apps like I don't know, an SLS camera or a LiDAR camera, well, the freaking thing overheats. I've used a LiDAR camera with that phone, and when I picked it up, because Spotted Ghost had problems with overheating, and the program would crash,
yeah,
and he kind of bypassed it. But when you were filming with the LiDAR, will you pick up, because it was filming with the all the lasers that are shot by your phone. You know, when you have facial recognition,
yeah.
it's lasers that kind of grid your face, that tells to your phone that, oh, that's you. But
So
Spotted
so
Ghost used those lasers to map the room.
so it's the Doogie S98 Pro. That's what it's called.
Okay.
and it is fucking awesome, man. Like the battery power, charging, you name it. It makes a lot of these phones look like shit. But it's a Doogee 90 S98 Pro, and it goes for, let's see, now you could probably get them for about as low as 470 Canadian.
Whoa. That's
No,
pretty
because it's an older model, right?
okay.
But I mean, it's based on Android platform,
Well,
and but I mean the fucking, this thing is phenomenal. Let me just see here. Hold on. But that's it. I've been looking at it very, very, very carefully over the last year. Actually, you know, it was Matt, Secret Vault Matt, has one.
oh, okay.
And I was watching some of the footage that he had captured with it, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's actually, because the thermal camera on it is actually on par with some pretty expensive fucking thermal cameras out there. It's
Wow.
it's pretty good, and the night vision is actually really good on it as well.
And I
Um,
know that some Android phones, especially Samsung's, I don't know the model specifically,
mhm,
but some of them have freaking full spectrum cameras,
yeah.
and people don't even know about it.
No, I know.
Scotty Ghost discovered it, I think, during an investigation. He said, "Oh my God, look at that! It's full spec."
I have a full spectrum camera here, and I use it quite often. It's actually
I will
let me.
have a zoom camera modified to. I will have the lens changed to have it modified to be full spectrum.
I love my full spectrum camera. Like I said, I absolutely love it. It's awesome. I use it quite often still. Not well. I shouldn't say as often as I used to, but I still use it, man. I still it has its place in, you know, in the sort of investigative sort of spectrum. It really does. I mean, a lot of people, I think they don't really understand the concept of full spectrum.
Sure.
They don't
Nope.
get the concept.
Nope. They don't get
And
it.
no, they don't get the concept. They only get the concept of the single spectrum, you know. And when you get a multi-spectrum camera, when you involve it, you know, especially in certain situations, you're like, wow, okay, this is really neat. This
Yep.
is
Yep.
cool.
I've worked with people that had the chance to have full spectrum cameras, and
Yeah.
when you see it, the footage, it's not the same as like infrared or the ones that we like. Sorry,
That's
like
okay, dude.
the camcorders or the little Phasm cams that we have.
Hmm.
That's kind of one other spectrum of the the way we see. But those full spectrums, they will shoot in all different kind of spectrums. The one that are not even in the human eyes or other kind
Well,
of cameras.
you've got the infrared spectrum. You got the O negative spectrum, and then you have the regular spectrum, right?
But
And then you
it's
have the
it,
thermal spectrum.
it's ways that our eyes can see, and we need those devices to help us.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there are so many, you know, toys, if you will, when it comes to the
Mhm.
paranormal. It's just, and that's the thing, you know, people will spend a lot of fucking money on this stuff, a lot. A
I know
lot.
what? What?
A lot. I mean, we all have. I mean, I think we all have been guilty of that, you know.
Yep.
But I don't know. Hey, Laura, how are you? Good to see you. You know, and that's another thing. Do we? I mean, is it necessary for people to spend
Oh,
this amount of fucking money? Is
not
it?
really. Not
Yeah,
really. And
yeah.
that's why Spotted Ghost creates those apps. It's like for people that don't have lots of money, and it creates the apps to help them to when they go and do paranormal stuff. It doesn't have only like Spirit Talker. He did a music box. He
Hmm.
did kind of it's kind of like a Ouija board, but numeric Ouija board. So you have alphanumeric, uh, so you can't like
Hmm.
play with words. Um, say goodbye. So you have different type of, and he made a.
Ah, Jeff, we've got trouble here, man. We've got
Oh
trouble.
no,
We've
he
got
made.
trouble. Look.
Hey,
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good,
he
good,
made
Dom. How you
a,
doing, Dom?
a spirit bell, and that spirit bell is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It uses all the sensors, and
Who did that? Spotted?
spotted
yep,
ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith
I
was asking, what do you think about Polaroid cameras? I fucking love them. I think they're great. If you want to use it, absolutely, Keith. I think go ahead and use it.
sorry, I made my cat freak with the bell.
You you freaked them out, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
no. There's actually a house
Oh,
in California, I believe it's California, where if you take Polaroids in the fucking house, there is what's called ghost writing on the Polaroids. It's a
really?
phenomena they can't explain. They've never been able to explain it.
Well, I
E-
know
even
that I went.
even Polaroid brought in fresh cameras with fresh fucking cartridges and said, "Look at okay, we'll test this out here," and they couldn't figure out why the photos were coming up with this ghostly writing on it. It's the
I went.
weirdest.
I went to investigate a house. It's called the
Yeah,
Patterson.
yeah.
The Patterson House in California. The place doesn't have any electricity.
Hmm.
We had to use our torches to light ourselves up to set up our stuff because it was pitch dark. The house doesn't have. It's still as it was in
Jeff, why would you light yourself up with a torch? What's wrong with you?
18.
I know what you're saying.
So I just crank up the freaking. It's not a K2 meter. It's kind of a you have EMF and electricity,
Yeah.
and I crank it up, and I just for shit and giggles. I know there's no electricity here. Let's check, and I light it up at one particular spot.
Hmm.
The both voltage per meter and the milligauss were going up as
Hmm.
crazy, but just one spot. I was going around in the house flat line, but just one spot in the living room, everything was peaking up.
Hmm.
And Matt Benton, that is one of probably the biggest skeptic in the paranormal field,
Hmm.
saw a shadow figure. And me and Elena were on the second floor, and we hear Matt say, "What the hell is that?" And there was a shadow, and Matt said, "I saw a fucking shadow." And I kid you not, and we heard a voice. All three heads turned at the same time. We heard the same voice, a kid giggling at the same time. It was
Hmm.
insane, insane. It was like one of the most strangest places I've been so far. Like, there's no electricity in the house, and you
Yeah.
have spikes, and you have K2 spikes, you have like ramparts going off for like, oh, it was not.
Guys, we have 38 people watching and 12 likes.
Oh,
Come on, get those likes going. Let's feel the love here,
let,
guys.
let,
Come
let,
on.
let, let's
Get
get
that
it
one.
those likes to
Now
at least 40.
41. Come on. Smash that like button, guys. Come on. What are you waiting for? Dom, how's it going, buddy?
Tired a little bit. Been like a rush weekend. Yesterday I was on tour on the mountain. We
You went to
brought
play the
customers
ticks.
there. Uh, yeah,
You went to
man.
play the ticks yesterday.
Seriously, Jeff. If you see the cemetery, you're gonna fucking freak out. So
Just
today,
tell them.
so
Tell them.
today I went to a cemetery on the mountain. There's actually 4 cemeteries. One
Mhm.
is called Montreal. The other one is called Côte des Neiges, and 2 are Jewish cemeteries. I'm not gonna say the names. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're- they're-
yeah.
Yeah, but this one.
Understandable. Yeah.
so I went to I've been with Jeff a lot of times at Montreal Cemetery. Which is cool is you can go at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can go at 6 o'clock. It's open.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions. Well, there's restrictions if you start running everywhere, jumping everywhere,
Well,
and
yeah, obviously. Yeah.
but if you go there just to investigate, they have no problem with that and stuff like that. What they do, there's a guard that does his run in the car. He's driving all around the cemetery at night. He will stop if he sees a group because there's actually rituals done in the cemetery. There's black magic sacrifices and stuff like that in Mont Royal
Yeah.
Cemetery.
Mhm.
So today, a good friend of mine asked me a long time ago, actually last year, to go to the other cemetery to go try and talk with her mother and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
said, yes, no problem. But last year they were on strike. The other cemetery was on strike.
Mhm.
Then we had the big ice storm and stuff like that. So a lot of trees got damaged and stuff. So they closed the cemetery down. They had almost 400 bodies in the freezer waiting to be buried.
Wow.
So finally, they got the money they wanted and stuff. Today, I went to the cemetery. Seriously, I wrote a post on Facebook complaining about that. Tomorrow, I'm
I
calling.
saw it. I saw that post.
Yeah, but you didn't see the pictures. Now I'll put the pictures. I put
Okay.
You're gonna
Oh,
see
oh,
pieces of skull, head skulls.
Really?
Okay, so the right. Let's say Jeff is the tombstone that I'm supposed to investigate.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're talking there. The tombstone next to me, there's pieces of bones outside.
What?
Yeah, a small. It looks like a finger, but not the top. It looks like just
What the
this part. Then there's also a joint. You can see the joint, and when I tried to push it away, it broke in two. You can see the
Wow.
black stuff inside the bone. So
wow.
that's on the
Damn.
picture. So when you go see the post, go see the pictures. They're there. So a little bit further down, maybe I would say like doing 20 feet, not even from
Okay.
what we're investigating. I see a big lump of dirt and tombstones like crooked. I go, Jesus, there's a big hole there. So start walking. The tombstone apparently must have felt a tree had felt, so it went crooked. So they took that out of the hole. The hole is completely digged out, like there's rocks everywhere. And on top of that, there's a piece of skull. Like not
Yeah. So I
skull,
so
but just,
so I,
just
I'm
like
looking at the pictures here, Dom. I'm looking
yeah.
at the pictures here. Are you okay if I share them?
Yeah, no problem. Should there share them?
Yeah, I'm looking for them, but I can't find them. So
Share them. And this, okay. So what you're seeing on top of that cell, the cell is actually the piece, like I said, the side piece of
fucking skull.
Yeah, you can see. Actually, you can start seeing the pit of where the lobe of the eye
Yeah,
is,
the occipital right
like
there,
the socket,
Yeah.
on the left side of the phone. Yeah.
and see all the dirt right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The tombstone mix in the dirt, and that's on top of a hole. There's a body underneath all that dirt.
Jesus,
Plus,
Murphy.
plus there's prairie. I call them prairie dogs. They're not prairie
Yeah.
dogs. But
Oh, the chipmunks. Not
yeah,
chipmunks.
Chipmunks. Chipmunks.
they go in the cemetery. They will they dig holes. If your body's there, they don't give a damn. They're gonna take everything out to make a space for them to leave. So they're taking out the bones and stuff like that. So going to and see how the grass.
Okay, so these are a little blur. These are a little blurry, but go ahead. Explain
Okay,
this
so
one.
that's the piece you're seeing right now. That's the piece of
The wrist.
the wrist.
Yeah.
You can see there. You can see that big part on top, like
Mhm.
a pipe,
Yep.
Hmm.
and then you see a rock, and you see a small piece that goes to the other rock. That's the other part of of the bone.
Yeah, I see it. It's right there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of broken in two.
Yeah, sorry, it was blurry. I was trying to like go quick and take the picture. I don't want to, disrespect. I even told the person, listen, I don't want to disrespect, and that's a part of the finger, the white thing you see on top,
Yeah,
and
kind of
that's
blurry,
another the two last parts you showed are on the same tomb, and the skull part is another tomb further on. That's only the small part where I was. As you
Was
can
that
see,
in
the
Côte
grass,
des Neiges?
yeah, that's called the Indigenous, man.
And the grass. I know you're complaining about the length of the grass, right?
See,
And
I'm sitting in the car, and that's next to my window. You can see the
yeah,
grass
yeah.
coming on top. That's we're walking in that all along in the fields and stuff like that to go to the. You can.
And this is an active cemetery, right?
It's the
Yeah.
biggest cemetery in Canada.
So this is Mountain Royal.
That's it's next. Montreal and Cote des Neiges are like buddy. They're
Buddy. Okay.
yeah,
And
they're
Côte
stick
des
together.
Neiges,
The only thing separating the both cemeteries is like a small fence. Like
a
Small
fence, yeah.
yeah,
And Côte des Neiges, if I'm not mistaken, some of our former prime ministers are buried there.
even in Mont-Royal Cemetery also.
Yeah, I know, but Côte
Both.
des Neiges even, it's
But
like,
Côte des Neiges, you'll have some ministers. You have Maurice Richard, big hockey
Yeah.
player. He's buried in that cemetery.
the rocket.
You just saw.
Rocket Richard.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't have time
Wow.
to go to his tombstone today because this cemetery, it's on the same mountain. There's, like I said, 4 cemeteries, 2 Jewish, Mont Royal, and Côte des Neiges. So on Côte des Neiges, they close at 5 o'clock every single day. They don't give a damn about you. If you're sad at 8 o'clock at night, you can't go in the cemetery. It's locked, paddled. Try to go in, they'll kick you out.
Yeah.
But it's on the same mountain. Across, if you just cross the fence of that cemetery,
Mountain Royal.
you're Mont Royal Cemetery, you're free to go.
You're fine. We investigated the
We,
So,
we go
movie.
there. You
what-
can ask Jeff. We go there nighttime. It's midnight and stuff. I've been there at 3 o'clock in the morning at Mont Royal Cemetery. Dude.
So what's to stop you? What's to stop you from sneaking over that small little fence and going into the other cemetery then?
They have a lot of security,
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
and the thing is, you have Mont Royal Cemetery here, Côte des Neiges here, the 2 Jewish down there, and right next to Côte des Neiges is the SQ police of
Oh okay.
the thing. So one phone call, they'll be there in like they have to come in the backyard. They'll be there in like about 3 minutes,
Yeah,
and
it's
there is an access for the police. A lot of the people think they have to do the turn to come. No, they have an access directly
Yeah.
to the cemetery by car.
Of course.
It's gonna take 3 minutes. It's gonna take 3 minutes, and they'll catch your butt, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get fined and stuff like that. So it's not really worth it because I would say between both cemeteries, that's the Jewish, they have a special vibe there, but between Côte des Neiges and Mont Royal is the most haunted cemetery.
Hmm.
Crazy.
We have people of like Jeff was saying, prime ministers, ministers.
A
Here
lot
in
of well-known people. A lot of people
Yep.
in
also
Well,
have
stature.
Titanic.
the
People that died on the Titanic are some are
Oh
buried
wow, wow,
on
wow.
Montreal Cemetery.
Okay.
Actually, one of the big owners
Mhm.
of the hotel in Banff, Mr. Jesus Christ, he owned the CP Rail.
the TP rail, yeah.
Oh,
He was the
CP
owner
Rail.
of the CP Rail. He built the big
Canadian Pacific Railway, for those who don't know.
yeah. He built the big hotel in Banff that's haunted.
What Fairview? Fairview?
Yeah.
Are we
Well,
talking Fair?
it was the old the you had Chateau Frontenac, you had
Yeah, yeah. He bought them all
the
out.
one in Ottawa, you had
Yeah,
one in
Yeah, but
Banff, and you had the one in
the
Vancouver.
one
one
in
in
Banff, he
Banff.
made
Yeah,
it wasn't built. He didn't buy it. He bought
he
all
built.
the big ones, but this one he made it built, and he didn't have time to see the hotel because he died in the Titanic. He's buried in Montreal.
All right, guys, hold on. We gotta take a short break here for the New Visions Radio Network. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is fun. We're having fun here. This is great. Yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Thanks, Dom, for popping in, and Joe, of course, and everybody in chat. We'll be right back. We're just gonna take one of those fun station identifications for the New Visions Radio Network. But you're watching and listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course simulcasting on our YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere.
Good evening. I'm Richard Palmisano, the founder of the Searcher Group. It's a paranormal company, the oldest in Canada. I founded it in 1979, which not only makes me old, but makes me doing paranormal research and field work for just under 45 years now. I am also an author, researcher, and lecturer on the paranormal. I've written 6 books now. And I really enjoy coming on with Steve and Alex on Nocturnal Frequency Radio, as well as listening to the shows, because there's a lot of interesting guests there. I like it, looking at this stuff, because it opens your mind to other options and other alternative thoughts. And there's always time to learn new things. So I hope you join us and come and see Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Thank you.
So let me ask you, what makes for good radio?
My 5 favorite songs all day long.
Play it again.
No.
As many commercials as physically possible.
What? No, why would that be good?
Great music, great talk shows, no commercials.
Precisely. New Visions Radio gives you no commercials, no nonsense, just the best new music and the best talk all day long, 24/7, 365. NewVisionsRadio.com.
Hey guys, Kristen here, host of the Paranormal Girl podcast, a bingeable exploration and deep dive education about the paranormal for the skeptical believer. Some of my past season topics have included shadow people, Mandela effect, demons, and UFOs. Currently, I am tackling Bigfoot. I have been sharing this journey with my audience since early 2021, and I have learned a lot these last few years. It's truly a mysterious world out there beyond our perceptions, and reality is just not what it seems. I have also, since the start, met some awesome folks like Alex and Steve, and I've really enjoyed watching and learning from them and also joining them on their show. Their guests are always outstanding, their listeners are just the coolest, and these hosts are some of my favorite people. I recommend their show to anyone looking for an intelligent and fun conversation about the paranormal amongst friends. So join me on my investigation, join Steve and Alex on theirs, and enjoy. Now back to the show. You are watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio.
All right, and welcome back to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, here live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, simulcasting on our YouTube and Twitch channels. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching. Sitting in for Alex is our good friend Jeff, Exploring Harley. And joining us too is Dom from Investigation 13, who, if by it, guys, if you're in the Montreal area, seek Dom out, because Dom, tell them about your tours.
So I work for a company that's called Haunted Montreal. We do offer haunted walks and paranormal investigations. Yesterday, and like I said, yesterday was a haunted walk I was doing, but we do paranormal investigations in haunted locations. Jeff can Jeff's been part of an investigation, never been on a haunted walk, but has been part of the investigation, and we have a new one coming on the 14th of June and 15th of June. It's called the Colonial Investigation. We're going to investigate parts of Montreal from the 1600s. So
and
Really?
for those of you know, I mean, Montreal, many parts of Quebec, Montreal, up to Quebec City and so on and so on, there's literally tons of long history. Very, very long history, and we're talking about back to the 1600s.
We have some dark history
Yeah.
here in Montreal. But what I'm saying here in Montreal, I do not live in Montreal. I live on the outskirts of Montreal.
You're too
Montreal,
afraid to live in Montreal, right? Is that it?
no,
You're too afraid.
no, I used to live in Montreal, like in a ghetto. I used to live in Saint Michel. So
Oh, okay.
The further east you go, the older the history is.
In
so
Montreal.
from the Maritimes, if you go back further down to the Maritimes, so
Hmm.
Prince Edward Island, Halifax, St. John's, Nova Scotia, those places are even older than Montreal.
Yeah.
Fort
Mm.
Louisville, Fort Louisville was the gateway to North America, basically,
Hmm.
Mhm.
because and the top part of what is called now Cape Breton Island,
Hmm.
that was kind of the gateway in when you were coming in Canada back in the day.
For European,
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, if you want to look even further, you can look at Vineland and those goddamn Vikings, right? I mean, we're talking
yeah,
about
but
years and years and years.
We have
yeah, they
traces
came
here
on.
here in Montreal. We have traces of Vikings in the 10,
I
10
think, yeah,
in Montreal.
They
I
came inland.
absolutely
I'll
do
give you
believe they came
I'll
in a
give you
lot further.
another scoop on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Quickly. When Cartier came here in Montreal in 1534, thinking it was India because he was
15,
looking for spices.
India, holy crap.
the second trip.
Wow, thinking it was.
He
He
went
got
to Montreal the second trip, dump. 1535. 1534, he came to Gaspé.
no, hold on. When he went, sorry, I said Montreal. I meant in Quebec in 1534. He planted a cross at Gaspé, claiming for François Ier, the first. That was writing by the natives already. Well, the guys on the boat were talking about the natives, saying they already had Viking prisoners in their camps. Same thing when Cartier came to Montreal in 35, the next year after. The same stories came out. They had where the Alouettes actually play was the village. They had actually prisoners, Viking prisoners.
Alouettes, Montreal Alouettes was
Yeah.
was a football team in the CFL football Canadian Football League. By the way, for
Canadian
those
Football
who do not
Oh,
know,
sorry. Yeah. So yesterday they were playing against Toronto pre-match and they won yesterday.
The oldest,
On the mountain because it's
I tell you, I you know what? I've never. I mean, I've never been a fan of Canadian football. I don't know what it is. I can't get into it.
watch it. I'm not the guy that's gonna sit in front of the TV and munch. You know, if it happens to pop up, I'll listen a little bit, move on, and stuff like that. If I get tickets, which
Oh, I mean, that's different. Yeah, you get
occur-
tickets to get
Yeah.
a lot of times I will get tickets to go to the Alouettes. I'll bring my son. My son, he goes crazy when he's.
I won a pair of tickets once to go see the Alouettes against was it the Argos? I think it was the
Oh,
Argos. It
Go
was
figure. The Argos. Here we
it
go.
was
Here we
the
go.
East
Toronto.
the East finals in
Toronto,
at the
Toronto.
Olympic Stadium, and it was a heck of a game. It was a good, awesome.
You know why I look at how CFL years ago it was just so ingrained in society. People just like fucking it was soaked in there. And now when you look at the league and you go, it's been through so many transformations. It's fucked up now. But when you go out west still, when we're talking about Edmonton and all that,
Calgary.
it's that's it. That's where
I
the
have a good-
CFL thrives.
I have a
It's
good
like
friend that lives in
Regina.
Calgary. She takes for she roots for the Stampeders.
Yeah.
Her room, everything she gets has to have a logo of a Mustang on it with the colors of the Stampeders. Her clothes, everything. Yeah.
Hey.
She's
I have a friend that is in the RCMP.
Mhm.
When he went to Regina to get to the depot, he told me like the city, man, it's Blue Bomber, not Blue Bombers, but Rough Riders. It's like all over the place. It's the only professional team they have. So it's the
But
only.
at the same time, the Rough Riders are owned by the city. That's the only.
Yeah.
That in Green Bay, Green Bay is in the NFL, but in the CFL, the city of Regina owns the Rough Riders.
Mm.
So that's why it's more. But as Steve was saying,
they don't have anything. They don't have a hockey team. They don't have anything in Saskatchewan.
That's the only sport. That's the only professional sport they have.
Which is weird.
Senior team in Regina, hockey team, but yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have no NHL team.
No NHL team.
No.
They never had.
Guys, hit that like button. Come on, we're at 19. We can bring it up 20, 25. We got 35 people watching here. Hit that like button. Come on.
Just like that.
And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on. What are you waiting for?
Free. It's totally free. It helps the channel a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about CFL and let's come back to the ghost. As you know, a plane crash where I live, a plane crash occurred in 63, a DCA crash. One of the passengers, one of my good friends that I say he's a good buddy of mine because when I do watch sports, it becomes cold around me in my office and stuff like that. I started calling him George. I wanted to find a name for my ghost. I said, I'm going to name you George. So every time I was saying George, I'm listening to hockey, George, I'm watching baseball, football, name it, it would start to become real cold next to me. Come to figure out that in the plane crash in 63, one of the owners of the Alouettes, he was half owner of the Alouettes, half owner of the CFL, died in that plane crash.
Wow.
Guess what his name is?
Guess what his name is? Oh my goodness. I don't know, Dom. I'm stumped.
I said I called him George because it came to my head. His name is George
Costanza?
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's not George Costanza.
I know.
But his actual name of that ghost, his name is George. So, yeah.
We lost you there for a sec there, Tom.
Hello?
Yeah. You're okay.
Yeah,
you're okay now, but we kind of you kind of went out there for a bit.
So I was saying, the name came to my head like that to call him George, but actually the name of the spirit, his name is George.
George.
He was part owner of the Alouettes and part owner of the CFL in 63. So
you know what?
CFL, it just popped in my head. So
you know what, guys? I'm going to tell everybody who's watching and listening on the New Visions Radio Network. If you're listening on the New Visions Radio Network, you can sort of come into our YouTube chat, and I'm going to put out a prize.
Oh.
Some NFR merch, our very limited double-sided shirt.
Oh.
Double-sided shirt.
Get the merch out.
You could win. You could win it, man. And how you can win it? How can you win it? You can win it by answering the question and sending the question. The first person in the YouTube chat to answer this question can win a limited double-sided nocturnal frequency shirt. And the question is where does Dom hold his ghost walks?
Oh.
Where does Dom hold his? What city does Dom hold his ghost walks?
We'll give you a hint. It's in Quebec, Canada.
It's in Quebec, Canada. It's in Quebec, somewhere in Quebec. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
If you were listening, you'd know where Dom holds his ghost box.
We said it a little bit earlier. So
TikTok.
if some of you want to go back a bit,
you want to go back? The first person to answer that question.
I'm gonna stop the live there. They're gonna go back and see.
Yeah, the first person to answer that question. Damn, I came late. No, you didn't, Frank. You were here. I think you were here. You were here when Dom was talking.
I think you were here, Frank, when we said it was.
Frank was Frank.
After the commercial break, we talked about it a bit.
A little bit, yeah. And again, if you're listening to us on the New Visions Radio Network, pop into our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Nocturnal Frequency Radio, or just go to youtube.com/@Nocturnal Frequency. Should we get the what is it, the game show timer
Jeopardy.
here? Jeopardy timer.
Jeopardy.
We might get dung for that. We'll probably get a copyright dung for it.
Yeah, you'll get a copyright strike, but no, Blainville. That's
Blainville.
Where Dom lives. That's where Dom lives.
That's where Dom lives. Yeah.
Lives, but there's a major city near where Dom lives. And that's where he made.
How far is Blainville from
that city? It's
what are we saying? What are we saying?
From the place where I do the tours, about I would say depends on the traffic, but between 30 to 35 minutes.
Quebec is the province where it is.
That's another city in the province of Quebec.
Yeah. Quebec City
is actually the capital of Quebec.
Quebec City.
Quebec,
no.
we're looking
from my house to Quebec. It's about 3 hours.
We're talking about one other.
Pull up a fucking map and look at major cities in Quebec. You're bound to get it.
Okay.
That's the country.
Canada.
The city actually they're represented in 3 major sports. We used to have 4 major sports.
Used to.
One left.
Jamie got it. Jamie got it. All right.
Montreal.
Hey,
if you want to see
the most crowded hockey team in the NHL, the team with the most cups.
Mars is the second runner-up. Mars, Jamie beat you out. I'm sorry.
Montreal have 24 Stanley Cups.
Guys, if you do want
wait. No, wait. Sue got it. Sue was just sorry.
Sue. Oh, I didn't see Sue. Sorry. Yeah, Sue got it.
I didn't saw Sue. Sorry. Sue.
I didn't see her either. I saw Jamie. I
saw Jamie too, but no. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. So, all right. So, Sue, send me your information. Send me your information to nocturnalfrequencyradio@gmail.com. That's again, nocturnalfrequencyradio@gmail.com. Send me what size a t-shirt and your address, and we'll have it off to you as soon as we receive it here. Okay, Sue? Thank you for the right answer. But yeah, look at it was like within seconds. Jamie was, oh my God. And Mars was right there too, within seconds.
Wow.
Within seconds.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
Congratulations, Sue.
We call it Montreal actually is the largest city in Quebec.
Yeah. In Quebec, yeah.
It is not the capital of the province, but it is the largest city. Yeah.
No. But yeah, that's cool. we're happy to and guys, grab some merch from our merch store, because I'll tell you right now, it helps us run the radio show here on New Visions Radio Network, and of course, using StreamYard here on YouTube, so on and so on. But grab some merch if you can. Links in our description, and again, and I think it's in the show description as well. And thank you, Melissa. Melissa put the link up there too. And again, grab whatever you can. And again, all proceeds go right 100% into running the radio show, running this show. Again, we do not profit from any of this. We don't want to profit from any of this. We just enjoy doing this. What?
Canada, you guys near have.
Is that like slang French? I have no idea.
That's not even French.
Canada. You
Canada.
guys knew.
You
guys
have.
No, in Canada we say hey.
Steven,
hey.
Your question, please, because.
What's that?
No, I was asking Steven in the chat if he wants to repeat that question, because Canada, you guys near.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that. Seriously, it's not. It's not French. It's not.
I have no idea what that is. Canada. I'm thinking of harp. Oive. You don't know the guy? No, I don't know the guy. I don't know. Ave. I don't know. Who's that guy? Oh my God, I'm Canadian. I have no fucking idea who that guy is.
I have no clue either. So, maybe it's a YouTuber. Mohaviz tuber.
No, don't know.
Mahasiv tuber. I don't know him.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. What's he do? Why would we know him? I have no idea. So Dom, let me ask you. Again, you have been investigating. You've been doing your tours and everything else. Tell me, out of all the experiences you've had, the most terrifying experience you've ever had dealing with the unknown.
I would have to say when I started. I started in 1999 investigating.
God, right after me, buddy. You're just as old as I am, for crying out loud.
I started on the field, but they've been dealing with paranormal all my life since the beginning of time. In 2000, I was with another team. We decided to go to an investigation in a big mansion, if you want.
Yeah.
The people that bought the land bought them from priests and nuns.
Okay.
When they bought the land, the priest told the lady, "Listen, you can buy the land. I don't care selling my land because it's not far from a waterfall and stuff like that. It's beautiful." He goes, "But you can't build nothing on top of the land before 100 years." A lady said, yeah, no problem, blah, blah, blah. We'll do that. No problem. She built a house 4 stories high. You have a cinema house in there, a massage room, etc. Big, luxury home. On the side of the house, they have their own rink, hockey rink. Okay.
Yeah.
This lady, her son, his personal coach, you'll probably know him, was Bob Hartley, the old coach with the Calgary Flames, Avalanche, and stuff like that. So they were having paranormal problems there, so we decided to go with the group of medium and to investigate, try to help the family out, understanding what was the problem. and I got scratched from the belly button to the back of the back.
Yeah.
3 scratches. When it happened, we took pictures on the spot. As soon as it started burning, I said to the guy, "Listen, I didn't. You're next to me. Take a picture. It's freaking burning." So I lift my shirt up, and there was 3 scratches from the belly button to the back of my back. So I started freaking out a little bit. This was the first time I got scratched on an investigation. Nothing was
Yeah.
around us. So we went out. The medium came, tried to calm me down and stuff. And as soon as she was trying to calm me down, right across the stream of the water, there was a big, huge rock. There was an old man there laughing at us, but a creepy laugh. All of a sudden, I was looking at the guy, and he vanished. Like,
That's crazy.
but the medium also saw the guy. I wasn't alone there, So she did. We looked at each other like going, "You saw what I saw, and yeah, I saw what you saw. But what was that anyway?" So that was maybe my most freaking creepy story. The rest, a lot of stuff had that happen to me. I saw somebody get possessed directly on.
Wait. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So wait, I want to hear that. So you saw somebody get directly possessed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Explain that to me. Explain that to
We're
me
doing an
in
investigation.
detail.
We're doing an investigation, and we had I do a lot. You can ask Jeff. I do that a lot. I will bring people with me to investigate. They wanna see what an investigation is, or it's their dream, et cetera, et cetera. So this guy asked us. He goes, "Can I go with you? Can I go investigate? It's been a dream of mine." I said, "Yeah, no problem." We went to the old the courthouse that Jeff knows.
Yeah.
It's in L'Assomption, Quebec.
Okay.
The guy has a T-shirt, no tattoos on the arms, nothing apparent. Okay, he's sitting on a chair, and you can see, when somebody's not feeling well, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this guy was like, the party, he was lighting up the party. All of a sudden, he was sitting on the chair and not talking whatsoever. So we asked him, "Are you okay?" He goes, "I'm not feeling good. My arm is burning like somebody is burning my arm." So we went to see if he
Yeah.
had scratches. And while looking at his arm, I'll try to find that video. Seriously.
Yeah.
On the video, you can start seeing like Arab writing on his arm. Like somebody's writing Arabic on his arm. But you can.
That's fucked up.
It starts white and you see it come red. And once it's finished reading, his whole forearm is full of Arabic writing.
That's
Is it the
crazy.
trick of the guy that he had that, and by just pressing hard your pump, you're gonna make the blood flow so it comes out?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was scary. And another thing at the Old Courthouse, actually, one of my investigators went to the hospital because she was flatlining after getting knocked on the head by a spirit on a Kinect system.
Yeah. That's
So,
insane.
Jeff knows we were in room 7. We're doing a Kinect, and this is in the time when the Kinect just started coming out on Paranormal Investigation. So we took one system and we decided we wanted to test it in there. So we went. It was me, a lady investigator, and a French guy doing the test. So there's a mattress, a bed. So the lady's on one side, the guy's on one side. I'm in front of the bed with the Kinect system. We're asking questions, doing our investigation. All of a sudden, in the middle of the bed, pops up a matchstick figure. Starts walking to the lady, and you can clearly see going like this on the head. When we got out of that room, she didn't tell us she was feeling dizzy, stuff like that. She didn't tell us nothing. But we told her that, hey, there's something knocking on your head. Even the guy came around to see on the screen, and he was seeing the knocking. So we got out. We're at to let the flat floor to go out. She's going back to Quebec City. She has a 3 hours and a half drive. It's about 2:00 in the morning. So we're picking up stuff, and she puts her jacket on, and the French guy is standing here. She's here. I'm here. And she started saying, "Okay, guys, I'm going to leave. I'm going to Quebec." All of a sudden, she lets out a scream, but like somebody that's really, like, really.
That's insane.
And she just felt like like if you take a handkerchief and you let it go down, it went, and she went. So we had time to grab her by the arms, lay her down, and there was no pulse at all. She was starting to be already to start cold. Do CPR and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
The ambulance came, and believe it or not, she went to the hospital. They kept her for a week. They found nothing on that lady.
Really? Nothing? Wow.
That place that Dom is talking about, I've just shared a little picture.
Okay, so here we go. Yeah.
That's a random picture of the place.
Okay. Explain the story.
I will.
You've got him revved up here, Jeff. You got him revved up. Okay.
This is the before picture.
Yeah.
And right after, you kind of see something is appearing, and then, damn.
So what's the explanation here? What? Because we see what looks like a person in the doorway,
and nobody was there because
absolutely nobody was there.
Absolutely, because the only 3 persons that were in the building, are in the same room right now. Dom is going just around taking random pictures. We're setting up right now.
So let me ask you guys: do you have anything else from this area, like audio, video?
A light turning on by itself on video. I'm doing an SS.
Can we show this? Can we show this?
Give me a second.
I'm giving you a second here. I want to see this.
Okay, Jeff has stuff. I've been investigating the old courthouse. I investigated that place maybe 50, 60 times. Yeah. So I do have a lot of stuff. Some investigators are getting told to go F themselves. Got pushed. Me and Jeff in the same room that the lady got knocked on her head. We're sitting down. I have a tablet with application on it. Okay. So we're running a tablet. We're asking questions. And you can ask Jeff. The tablet is like 5 feet in front of us. We're sitting on the wall. We're back to the wall. So it's impossible for me or Jeff to touch the machine without the other one seeing. That fucking thing closed down.
So let me ask before I show this, guys. Before I show this is a okay. So this place, this location, where this was captured, where you got that person in the doorway, is this public access?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring you there. I'm gonna bring you there, man.
If you want to go there, actually, the person that's
our friend,
it's a good friend of me and Jeff that I know for a long time. This lady used to be on my investigation. She would come on my investigation. One day at the courthouse, she never had an investigation of her life before. We're doing an investigation in the attic, and she got pinched. She got pinched. She had a big like if somebody tried to pull skin, she had a big red mark.
Yeah.
And we were like 20 in that room at the same time. You can see on the video, you can see her arm go up like what the hell?
Okay, let's see this
video right now. I'm doing an Estes. Dom and Allison are asking a question.
Hey, Della, how are you? So explain to people, Jeff, because not everybody knows what the Estes
the Estes method is. I'm sitting on the judge's bench. I have a set of headphones, and I'm
And,
listening to
hey,
his
and you're
spirit box.
blindfolded, right? You have something over your
Yes,
eyes, right?
I'm
Yeah.
blindfolded, and
Yep.
I don't know if I was using the Gansville experiment back
Yep.
then, but um, I'm not seeing anything, and I have radio stations scanning through a certain speed. At this point of time, Allison is holding my camera while asking the questions. You're gonna hear her
Hmm.
saying in French, "What the hell?" Because a light just lit up. And to
Yep.
light up and turn off that light, you have to press a button.
Okay.
It's not motion activated. You have to actually
You have to
press,
press it.
because she's gonna turn off the actual light by pressing the button.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here
And
we go. Here we
I
go.
think I've subtitled it a bit. So yeah.
Okay. Here's a video, guys. Here we go. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's go. Celui.
Oh,
Infinite.
non.
Okay, lights just went
Oh.
off in the room next door.
There's a switch right there.
Louisville.
Okay.
You look like a king in a throne.
Yeah, and Virgin.
Is that Dom on the camera there?
Yeah, that's Dom.
Okay.
Out. So yeah, so that is the light turning on by itself.
Wow.
And we try to debunk it, and
Yeah.
you have to actually press on the thing to open it.
Wow.
You're muted, Dom.
Yeah. Turn it. Yeah.
The chair you saw is actually the real chair of the judge when the court was in session since the beginning.
I think Jeff would make a good judge. He looked like a good judge.
actually when we do nights over there, we do take ladies to sit on that bench because the judge does not like ladies.
That courthouse.
Yeah, why is that? Why does a judge not like ladies?
Because the courthouse was used only for a certain period of time in, I think, the early to the mid 19th century. So hey, party, yay! So back then, ladies weren't allowed to be judges or even lawyers or solicitors. It was a men's only kind of.
It was like a men's club, if you want.
It was a men's job. Well, back then, only men were working. Ladies were working like probably in mills and stuff like that. But it didn't have any like lady doctors, lady lawyers, judges. Everything was run by men, unfortunately. So so when a lady go and sit on his bench, well, the judge
guys,
like that.
I have to say this, man. Both you guys have reinvigorated my interest in the paranormal. I have to say that.
Dom, somebody's going.
No. That's all. That's here. Don't worry, Dom. It's here.
Okay, I was what's happening?
You're okay. You're fine. It's a car. I have my window open here in the studio.
I was going like, is it my car outside? Because sometimes my car does that. It actually.
Yeah. I have to say no, and I said that you guys have reinvigorated. I like I said, I go through stages, I'm glad that like I said, Jeff has come on and filled in for Alex and Dom. It's really good to meet you, and knowing that you do the ghost walks and so on and so on, that you've been doing this for a long time. I really appreciate you guys coming on here and being a part of this, man, because you've really revved me up again. I really,
Well,
you know,
thank you to host this kind of show, letting people talk about
yeah,
paranormal
absolutely.
and
I wouldn't have it any other way.
have a
This is why
discussion on the
this is
good
why we've
side.
been doing this show.
This is amazing. Your show is amazing since day one. Since Jeff told me that it goes to my good friend and stuff like that. Since day one, I try to, you know, I'm not always live, but I will watch the rewinds and stuff like that.
Whatever.
I suck
Yeah.
at leaving comments, but I do watch when I'm not
Cares?
live, I do
The
watch.
fact is, like I said, we started broadcasting the show back in 2008, 2008.
Wow.
And the reason was back then, was to simply network with people like-minded and bring in their sort of experiences and their know-how and their whatever into the paranormal fold and sharing it with everybody who listened. And yeah, it's great, and I love bringing on guests. I absolutely love bringing on guests, but I love bringing on guests that don't really get exposure like some other people. I find people who are you know really in the field to sort of advance it. And people like we've had shitloads of people on the show. Like, we've had high profile guests on this show. Like, people wouldn't understand. Would What, you had that person on? Yeah, we've had them on. And the thing is, I love them, great, but give me somebody who doesn't get that exposure. I find them the most, excuse me, interesting. We've covered everything from the paranormal to UFOs to cryptozoology, you name it. People like, hey, we've had Stanton Freeman on. You had Stanton Freeman on? No fucking way. Yeah. And people who know Stanton Freeman know he's the godfather of fucking Area 51, Roswell, when it comes to
Yeah.
fucking the UFO, and it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. I enjoy having people like you guys on to talk about your experiences, because I think it's important that people hear, both myself and Alex think it's important to hear people like you and your experiences and what you do in the paranormal field. I think it's really vital to bring that
Well,
forth.
you have to be passionate in what you do, because
Absolutely.
if you don't have any passion, if you don't like what you do, well, don't do it. It's like, when I go out for answers for me, but I go out for answers for others that are like me, looking for answers.
Yeah.
And if I have that answer, I will share it with everyone. And that's what I want to do.
I'm the same as Jeff. I have. You can ask Jeff. I'm really passionate about paranormal and history.
I know you are, Dom. Just like I said, I know, and that's
to
what I'm
share
saying.
out-
It's
to share
it's
out to the public,
refreshing.
I don't really. You can ask Jeff. I don't really put myself out there. Like
You
I
don't
should.
need to. That's the
But
one thing. That's the one.
when I do, and people listen, what I want to do is just share whatever I know. It's like it's a gift that was given to me to understand paranormal. Why not share it to somebody else?
Let me tell you, I don't care if you're out there and people know who you are. I don't care. The fact is, a lot of people that I have in my close circle are people who don't care about putting their shit out there. They just care about advancing shit when it comes to the paranormal. That's their main objective, is to better understand what the fuck is going on. Because honestly, a lot of what's going on out there here in YouTube land and whatever else is bullshit. Pure bullshit.
Like I said, I like paranormal. I work for a company, like I said, Haunted Montreal. Jeff saw a little bits of what I'm doing. I'm presently building up my own company, tours. But it's going to be strictly history and paranormal, not ghost walks. I'm not bashing against the ghost walks. Ghost walks are amazing.
No.
Facts, but what
historically, I love them. I love them because a lot of them incorporate history.
Yeah, but what I want to concentrate on is really the history and the paranormal side of that. So I'm starting a company that's called Ghost of Montreal. It's not set, so don't go try and find me everywhere. Yeah, I only have a small
Ghost of Montreal.
Yeah, I have only a small Facebook page for the moment. I'm working, like I said, Montreal Haunteds, like those guys, been working with those guys for the past 6 years, and hope there's going to be way more years down the line. But like I said, they do ghost walks and they do only 2 paranormal investigations starting this year. I want to bring more places, more history places. So on my list presently, I have already 10 thumbnails done of 10 different places.
Yeah,
that doesn't even regard what Montreal Haunted does as those 2 investigations. And I'm coming back with I'm working on another maybe 10 to 15 more. So I'll have like 25 different places that I will be able to bring people in Montreal for history and paranormal.
I want to point out, and I have to, because somebody who's in chat right now, Della Ferrant, a dear friend of mine, dear friend Della Ferrant, whose husband David Ferrant, who I miss quite dearly, passed away a few years ago. He was a part of the Highgate Vampire scenario in the UK, who I found, quite intriguing. I say this because, the story is fascinating. If you look into the Highgate Vampire and you look at the scenario around it and the circumstances around it, you have David Ferrant and then you have Sean Manchester, right? You have 2 different sort of scenarios there. And, it's entirely up to you what you think is real and what's not. But to me, when I looked at that scenario, David seemed to be the more authentic, the more down to earth, the more real person to me. And again, that's what I look for. That's what I look for. People who seemingly are authentic. People who, I can't stand people who boast about things that look at, I can prove this. I have proof of this. It drives me fucking insane. You know what? Over the years that I've been doing this show, I'm not afraid, and I have called out several people, and have pissed off a lot of people, and I don't fucking give a shit. I don't. I really don't.
What you're saying?
Brain
fart. Go, Chad.
Sorry. I know. Sorry, brain fart. I was about to say something.
What you're saying? I'll give you an example. There's a new group in Quebec. It's called Paranormal Exist. They're starting in Bro, don't start me on them.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely not.
I'll explain to you after the long story. Anyways, it was a lady in a small group, and she sold her team and the equipment to her brother. Her brother was doing an investigation at his house, put out some pictures saying, "Listen, I captured a face on a picture." So I take the picture, and I like to do that a lot. I don't ask the people. I just take the picture, clear it up, take out the blurries and stuff like that to show the real picture you took. He's actually taking a picture of a plasma ball with flash.
So, my question is,
But
whenever I hear,
hold on. When I told him that, I go, "Listen, it's not a face, it's not a spirit." He actually told me, "Go do your homework."
he said that to you.
And he's starting.
Yeah. I'll give you the link after, Jeff, so you can go see that picture. You're
Fucking
gonna laugh. You're gonna fucking
plasma ball. I let me ask you. Oh, we got 5 minutes, but anyways, let me ask you guys. When you hear the word plasma ball, what comes to mind? Dom, you
Pure
first, and
energy.
then yeah.
Pure energy.
But when you say plasma ball, I mean, to me, okay, if I see it
Ghost
visually,
food.
yeah, if I see it visually, okay, maybe I would consider the fact. But when somebody sees it on video or photo, I have to be critical.
If you use a plasma ball, first of all, you have to put it as far as you can from all the device you'll be using, because you're gonna be polluting all your everything. I've tested the plasma ball,
Yeah.
and I can't, I shit you not, I will put a plasma ball right beside me and
Hmm.
probably put a rampart probably 15, 20 feet from me. I will trigger it just by touching the plasma ball and pointing my finger to the rampart.
But okay, outside that though, I think what I'm trying to say here is, if somebody to me says I experienced a plasma ball, right? A ball of plasma.
Oh, okay.
Visually,
First of
visually,
all, the
visually,
name.
I saw it. Okay, then I would say, okay, well, interesting. You saw it visually. It wasn't recorded on video or photo. Okay, but then if somebody says to me, I recorded something on video, or I have, a photo of a plasma ball, then I start to go, okay, we need to be a little bit more critical here. But visually, if you see it with your eyes, it's a whole lot different. I
Oh,
mean, do you guys
probably,
agree?
yeah.
You guys agree?
Okay, you're talking like in norm, like a plasma
Yes.
ball
Yes.
floating
You
in
see it
there. Okay,
with
okay,
your own naked
okay.
eyes.
I never saw one personally. I've heard about them. I've read about them, but
First of
personally, I
all,
never saw one.
the
Uh,
name plasma ball is not good because it's not plasma that's inside those balls. It's static. All right. So
yeah,
calling it a
but,
plasma ball, but everybody calls it plasma ball because they understand what they're saying, but it's
well,
actually not.
pure energy, basically, dumb. Pure energy is plasma,
Yeah,
because
but
when you,
those
you use
balls
the
are not
plasma
plasma.
ball, well, it's the the electric arcs you have in the plasma ball. That
Mm-hmm.
is plasma. That is pure energy. So Steve is talking about like seeing a giant orb, basically.
Plasma is liquid.
No, you have
Well,
the
plasma.
real plasma. It's pure electricity. It's an electric arc. Uh, People mistake it for a liquid, but it's not really. It's not a liquid. The plasma that we say that it's liquid. It's not really. It's a composite, but real plasma it's electric. You cannot handle it. It's pure energy.
And the silence is building here.
Well, he's probably searching for it on
My two
Google,
hands
but
are here. I'm not. I'm
no,
not
but
fucking.
that's
I'm
the
not
way
looking.
I've learned it in school.
Wait
I'm
a wait
I'm
wait a
sending
sec.
proud. I'm
Dom,
sending.
hold on a sec. Sit back for a sec. Let me scan that UPC on your shirt. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Look, Frank just wrote it. Plasma energy is made of three
Exactly.
electrons.
Frank explains it the
Thank you,
best.
Frank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've remembered my physics courses. I
Yeah.
was pretty good in physics.
And
I
even
was good in
Steven. Yeah,
physics
we'll
and
give it to
biology.
Steven.
So I look when I look at the paranormal, I look at with kind of the scientific eye that I had when I was in school. I was really good in biology, science, chemistry, physics. When I went to college, I went to study psychology. So, like for me, it's really important to take that scientific aspect and bringing it to the paranormal. Because when you see a plasma, that could be pure energy, but I've seen a video of a one you can defy as a pure plasma ball. It's a freaking ball of energy crossing a train line. I think it's in the UK, and that's a natural phenomena. That is completely natural. It's energy that comes from the earth, create an energy ball, and you'll see it with your own eyes. But does it really come from the earth? Is it something in the earth that it's creating that? Is it, I don't know, a spirit that it's coming out of the earth, traveling? But it is a natural phenomenon.
That's the question. Is it a natural phenomenon? But
It is qualified as one.
yeah, well, yeah, but the question is, Jeff, it's evident that it is a natural phenomenon, but how do you decipher the difference between natural phenomena and, say, the paranormal, if you will? And
That's the question.
that's
That's
the
the
question.
$1 million question.
That's the question. That's the question. How do you decipher the difference between the two? Right? And a lot of these instruments that people use in the paranormal are used to understanding levels of certain things in your environment.
Yep.
But people don't use it. Many people who investigate the paranormal don't use these tools as they should. They mentally, automatically, it's for ghost hunting. Right? They
Yeah.
don't know. They don't know the difference.
They don't
No,
know
I
how
know.
to properly use the equipment. I'll give you another example.
That's exactly it. They don't know how to use the equipment.
The lady that sold the team to her brother. I made a small trade with her. I traded a paranormal puck 2 for another piece of equipment with her. She takes the paranormal puck, just press on, and when it flashes, she thinks there's a spirit there. I send her the application to use, explaining her. I took exactly 3 hours to explain her step by step, and she still thinks that just pressing the button, putting it on the table, and if it flashes, Jeff, you saw it, when it flashes blue, it's trying to connect to a tablet so you can write the questions, but she does. Yeah, she thinks that if it flashes, it's not. It's a spirit there going there. So a lot
We
of
had
people
that thing shut off on us. in the graveyard. But Steve, I shit you not, the switch was turned off, and you have to physically
You
turn
have
it
to put
off.
your finger underneath and almost put it inside the a bracket to push it. And it happened 2 times in the cemetery. The first time I said, maybe the battery's dead. Put it back on, starts. It was working for, let's say, what, 20, 25 minutes, Jeff? And then all of a sudden it was off. When I went to get it, I told Jeff, I go, listen, man.
Oh yeah, I have your camera, man.
somebody pressed the button. We do have it on camera saying it.
Oh
shut
yeah,
down.
I'll go and find it. Don't worry.
We do have it. We do have it on camera.
We'll go for another half hour. That's about it. I'm gonna open the lines up for the last half hour for anybody who has any stories or anything linked to the paranormal. You're more than welcome to click the link and pop up. I'll put it. I'll pin the message. We are no longer live on the New Visions Radio Network. We're just live on Twitch and YouTube. Guys, I'm having fun, guys.
Just a moment. I want to recluse myself on what I was saying that that plasma was liquid. I was talking about magma. Because I'm doing something on the Montreal. I'm sending things, and I was reading on magma, so I did the liquid and stuff like that. So it's in my head. Sorry, but guys,
absolutely, Frank.
Sorry for for people that think I'm a dumbass, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of subs at the.
That's what you see what Frank writes. That's exactly what I've been saying for fucking eons. It is so true. Where does that energy go? That we all house our own energy, our own frequency that interacts with the surrounding frequencies. Where does it go when you die? Is that your soul? Is that what they mean by your soul? Absolutely, Frank. I absolutely agree with that, man. It's so fucking true. It's so fucking true.
Okay.
Here we go.
We're in the one. Oh no, not one. The most haunted fucking graveyard in Quebec. I shit you not. That place is spooky AF, and yeah.
I like that when you say Wendigo. Wendigo.
Oh yeah, and
yeah. We have
when you hear running around you, you hear rustling like in one side, and like in a fraction of a second, you hear rustling.
Dude, I gotta play. I gotta play an audio clip for you when we're talking about Wendigo. I gotta play that. I gotta find it. But go ahead. Sorry. Okay. Go play this.
In the Air Force, I know that we have a Captain Wadley that served in the War of 1812.
Bro.
Yeah.
I just opened the switch now.
The switch was off? No.
Goodbye.
Whoa.
Okay, bro.
Goodbye. The flashlight, and I heard something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
was rustling behind us. But look, just to show you where the switch is. The switch is right indented in here. See how my finger is going in the thing to open it?
Yeah.
So how the does it close?
I like how you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And we had good bugs.
So you saw how it was when I pushed the button and said I just opened the switch, it went blue, beeping.
Dom, can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
You're a very intimidating guy. I'm just kidding with you, buddy.
Not at all, man.
I'm just kidding with you, man.
I'm a small. You can ask.
I'm just kidding with you, man.
Bear, man.
I'm just kidding with you.
But that was that night.
Dom, you're a good guy. I'm just kidding with you, man.
But what Jeff was talking about, we were hearing rustling on the outside of the cemetery, not inside. There's a fence around that cemetery. Outside the cemetery, we're hearing like walking on this side. As soon as you would watch, the sound would be behind you. So we were asking who's doing the noise, who's walking. As soon as we finished that question, Jeff, you want to give the answer? What we got?
I want to
Tutu?
shape. I'm a shapeshifter. I'm a
I'm a
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter. Okay. Wow.
It was like.
And the response was directly after, straight like, who's walking? I'm a shapeshifter.
So, honestly, in honest words, what do you think? Like I see Wendigo, but honestly, what do you think when you experience shit like that?
The place where we were investigating, that graveyard is built, and it's written history. It's real. It's not made up.
Yeah.
That graveyard is built over a native graveyard. The settlers that decided to settle there move an Abenaki settlement.
Let me ask you though, before you go further, Jeff, why is it that everyone has to say it was built on a native burial ground? You hear that all the time, and I'm not discounting it. Don't get me wrong, guys, but why do you hear that all the time?
A lot of people will tend to say that it was built on native.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I understand your question. I understand where you're coming from.
I'm
because
part native.
Every part of North America
is native land.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But now I'm really talking about a native settlement that was
the settlement
displaced and replaced.
The settlement actually built a cemetery, and when the settlers came, they decided, good idea, we're going to build our cemetery on top. We're going to move the Indians out of here, and we're going to build our cemetery on top of your cemetery, not taking the bones out, nothing reburying. No, we're going to plot our cemetery on top of yours. And it's really, like Jeff said, it's really written in the books of history and stuff like that. This place was actually, but like you said, a lot of people will say that it's on
all the time.
But this is a reserve. It's actually a real res that was taken by the settlers. So I know we sound cheesy when we do.
No, I'm not saying that, Dom. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying you.
When
I'm talking for everybody.
Yeah.
When they kind of redone the reservations around Quebec, they decided, like, okay, we'll take all the Abenaki and we'll get them in one spot instead of have them in separate little res around the region.
Let me ask you guys, a majority of Quebec, what tribes are we talking about? Because here you have Ojibwe, Abenaki, and then you have the Mississauga, the Mohawks. Because I mean, we're talking about these tribes span, beyond the provinces.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the provinces were non-existent.
Like I was saying before,
North America.
North America
is
actually native to the soil. They
absolutely.
Were there settlers. And we're talking way down to Mexico and
oh, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Alaska.
But I'm trying to get a sense of the the territories, because they had territories, right?
Montreal, we had a settlement that was called the Six Nations.
Six Nations, yep.
Yeah.
Which was a mix of Mohawks, Iroquois,
and you have that here as well.
Because that was the only place where, the Algonquin Nation tribes would trade with the Mohawk Nation and the Iroquois Nation. But out of those territories, they were enemies, because over most of Quebec, Ontario, Northeast U.S. was Algonquin. Most of the Algonquin Nation Yeah, the Ojibwe are part of the Algonquin Nation.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
Hmm.
and so, but scattered around, you had some pockets of tribes of the Mohawk Nation and the Iroquois Nation, but they were
And then yeah, the
small pockets
Mississauga,
because
Mississaugan.
over here we had in Shawinigan we had the
Yeah.
Iroquois, the pure bred Iroquois, the real one, but they were exterminated by the Algonquin because the
Let me
Algonquin
tell
were
you.
superior.
Let me tell you. My background, my father's side is Métis,
Me as well.
and
On my mother's side.
if anybody knows anything about what that means, it's French breeding with a native
Native.
culture. And in this case, in my case, it was Ojibwe.
I'm part Montagnais.
Yeah.
And I'm part. My grandfather, the father of my mother, is actually a Mohawk. So I'm really fucked up.
I'm fucked up like you, man. We're all fucked up.
Yeah, but hold on. On my mother's side, she has French from France, Mohawk blood. On the side of my father, he has Italian blood. So mix all that together, that's me.
Yeah, I would say you're pretty fucked up, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty fucked up as a mixed culture.
You have that Italian element in there. That's not. Wait a second. Tell me, how did that get in there?
Yeah, my grandpa and my grandma on my father's side are actually Italians. My great grandfather came from Italy back in the day. Opened a shop in Hamilton, a fruit shop in Hamilton, and that's where the family started to grow. They left Italy to get rid of the mafia over there, the Ingrata, and they came to Hamilton to.
Hamilton, of all places.
The Hamilton and Buffalo mafia.
Yeah, and there's tons of those.
Oh, hell yes.
Tons.
But
actually, hey, Parasolo, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi, Josh. We're talking about natives. I want to bring actually I want to do something with Jeb. I spoke to him about actually the natives did two big. It's called the massacres of the Indians. It's not Indians that got massacred. It's the white people that got massacred. One occurred 276 people in the fort. Yeah. The fort got burned. People got died. There's part of the fort that are still there, and about maybe a mile from there is what Jeff was talking about, a post where all the natives would bring their furs to trade to the white man to get some food, some seeds to plant the Three Sisters, because actually a lot of natives were what they call the Three Sisters. For people that do not know that, it's corn, peas, and squash. It was called the Three Sisters back
the Three Sisters, and it's a coffee now too.
It is,
but I hear you, and no matter what, and by the way, guys, hit the like button. What the heck?
Yeah, hit the like button. I have a whole deal writing in my bum.
But everything goes back to here in North America. Everything goes back to the native culture. It has to. I mean, they're the first peoples of North America, regardless of how you look at this.
My daughter got pissed this week with that. Sorry, I cut you down.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, she was talking to me about here in Montreal, Jean Mance and Hochelaga. She goes, "Daddy, do you know that they built Montreal and stuff like that?" I go, "No, they didn't build Montreal. Actually, Montreal, the name Montreal comes from the English nation. when they
Mhm.
conquered Montreal in 1770. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
explain that. I said before that the name Hochelaga that we know was actually a name of an Indian reserve not far from the St. Lawrence River.
Mhm.
That's where they took Hochelaga. There's a gentleman that came from France
It wasn't.
named Hochelaga.
It wasn't a reserve. It was like a main big village.
Let
Like Stadacone was near
Yeah, but
Quebec, but
it was
it was like a capital of the native capital was Hochelaga and near
but
Montreal
regardless,
and
regardless,
Stadacone.
regardless, though, guys, if it wasn't for the natives, I don't think life would have thrived the way it has without their help. I mean, they were here. They were, people don't understand.
It's the
Native
fur
culture.
trade that opened up.
Well,
What we
yeah,
are
the,
today.
the fur trade, but let me just say, native culture is nomadic. They go with the seasons. They go where the buffalo roam. They have their set patterns, and for a reason. People don't understand that. That's the way life was here in North America before the Europeans started to come here. When the
It would
Europeans
be
when
close
the
to body
Europeans
of
came here,
waters.
they were fucking lost. Who helped them out? The natives helped them out. They taught them how to plant certain crops, corn,
Made
and
Spruce
so
beer to get out of the scurvy.
exactly, and sure, trading had been going on, and trading was a huge thing. But the thing is, if it wasn't for the native cultures here, people today, things would be a lot different. If it wasn't for the native cultures, they,
Yes,
you know,
because the explorers discovered the new world. It was like a new culture, new new food, corn. They didn't have corn in Europe back then. They
but
did,
they didn't have scurvy either.
didn't either because the winters weren't as harsh over there as over here, and they discovered that mostly all settlements were near
Yep.
bodies of water because that's what we have here in Quebec. We have rivers. We have lots of rivers. And we have one main body of water that is called the St.
We've
Lawrence
got the
River.
largest freshwater
on the planet.
reserves in the world.
We have
Yeah.
90% of the fresh water in the world.
Fresh water in the world here in Canada.
It's
You
over
know,
here, all around here, and not counting all the frozen water we have above our heads up north. I
you
I
know,
had I had the opportunity to go in the North Pole, and I've seen like lakes of melted ice
yeah.
that are huge, and it's like fresh water. It's pure. It's right there.
Yeah, it's it's very diverse, very diverse. The Irish and Welsh sailed America and Canada, Newfoundland. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
What?
it was more the Vikings because I think Irish and Welsh back in 560 AD.
Well, yeah,
Well, that was well around the the 6th century AD. That was the Roman presence in Britain.
but I think what Frank is saying is the influence of
In
the
Newfoundland, they
yeah, the
discovered that it
Irish and the
still can
Welsh
visit.
along the east coast of Canada is heavily influenced by the Welsh and the Irish.
Yeah, but they came
Montreal, Montreal,
later as
Yeah,
500 AD.
Montreal. We have a canal that's called the Canal La Chine.
yeah.
It was dug by the Irish.
Actually
The
was
Irish
done by
that
the
came.
Irish.
They came here during the potato famine in 1930 something.
We have we have on the other side of Quebec City, we have what we call a quarantine station.
Yeah.
So people that would come from the Maritimes or Europe would have to stop there to get checked up for TB, typhus, and all sorts of stuff. There's actually, it's called the Irish Monuments over there. There's about 25,000 people buried on that island that died from different diseases, typhus, etc., etc. There's another one in Vancouver for the people that would do the other side of the globe, so Chinese, Japanese, and stuff like that. That's why in Vancouver we have a lot of Asian people, because it was easier for them to travel around the globe to come back to Vancouver than cross down and come through North to North America. So, Central Kentucky and
Interesting.
when Columbus went there, he came across Welsh-speaking Native Americans.
Because I know that the Irish and Welsh became Irish and Welsh after the what we call Vikings, and because in the 6th century it was the Romans were on the island, and before the Romans there was the Anglo-Saxon.
But don't forget, Jeff, during the period of the Romans in power, they would send people on boats.
Yeah, but they were Saxons. They were Saxons. Anglo-Saxons.
They even did that with patriots here in Quebec. They send them to Australia.
Gaelic language is a base of mix of languages that came from the Danish countries, they called it back then. The Vikings brought their kind of language. They mixed up languages to create what is known as like Gaelic now.
Yeah.
Probably the storybooks were written while I was
and that is true what Frank is posting. That I remember reading. Huge. That was a huge point of interest. 568 AD. Huge. That comet was a huge marker. Holy shit, man! I'm fucking loving this, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to end this. But you know what, guys? This has been great. This has been great. I want to thank you again, Dom, for popping in. What a blast! And Jeff, of course, filling in for Alex. You know what? You guys kick ass, man. And thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Like I said, for doing this kind of show. This is like, it's any paranormal investigator should watch your show. Not because I'm trying to kiss your butt or stuff like that. I'm just saying
Let me show you.
there's a lot of there's a lot of information that comes out, and the way that everybody talks is like everybody's listened to.
That's the point.
There's
That's
no
the point
argument. There's no fighting, no bitching, no mourning. Everybody brings their own.
There's debate. Everybody's healthy debate, man. I mean, everybody. Like I said, I mean, we're all.
Thank you.
We're all students.
Thank you, man, for doing that. It's amazing, amazing the work you do, and obviously listening to you guys, even if I'm not on panel, listening to Jeff, to Alex, to you, it's amazing to listen to, and the guests you bring on are all amazing. So hey, kudos to you guys.
As you guys, man, same thing. Dom and Jeff, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And you guys are always welcome here. Always, you guys have a home here. Don't forget it. I want to thank everybody in chat. Melissa, thank you. You do a great job. Thank you, Frank. It's good to see you, Sue and Della and Steven and everybody else. Thank you, Joe. Take care. Again, season finale with Reeves Cook, June 7th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it, guys, because Reeves Cook I love Reeves Cook. He's such a wealth of knowledge, and he's Mr. High Strangeness. Guys,
I'll be watching on the road.
you'll be watching on the road, and
Be safe, bro. I know you're going to up
New
to
Brunswick.
America. So be safe over there, man.
Always.
Like I said, always be safe, guys. Be safe. Once again, thank you for people in the chat. Please hit that like button.
absolutely, thank you. And Sue, don't
Smash the heck out of it.
Sue,
it helps
don't,
a lot the channel and stuff like that. So
thank you.
guys,
Yeah, sub,
whatever.
whatever. And Sue, don't forget to email me with your info at nocturnalfrequencyradio at
Get your shirt.
gmail.com, and we'll get you your shirt out to you. All right, guys, take care. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great one, and we'll see you Friday, June 7th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here only on the YouTube channel, and will be rebroadcasted on the New Visions Radio Network. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Later.